Hey gang, it's Brian from FXBilliards. Today I am going to bring you guys casual, it's actually a challenge match type thing. SIMING Chen versus EFREN Reyes. Those of you who are not familiar with SIMING, she is a world champion 9-ball player, and she's going to be playing against EFREN, who everybody knows. This is a race to 3, and you can get Simi's resume in the description area of this video. She has a pretty impressive resume. So she's playing this challenge match against EFREN, race to 3. It is 10-ball, and those of you not familiar with 10-ball, it's very similar to 9-ball, but you call each of your shots. Now SIMING had a nice break, made a ball on the break. I think it was the 5-ball, and she played that long draw shot down table. She might have wanted to draw it a little bit further back, but she played that with low left-hand English to come off the rail. The 2-ball's in the pocket, but she's going to just tap it to get position on this 3. She could have come out a little bit further. She is dangerously close to being behind that 10-ball. So you want to play this a little bit further, but what she's looking to do here is play a draw shot to get on the 4-ball, which is all the way down the other end of the table. So she's going to draw it so she's on the correct side of the 4. It makes a beautiful shot to get position on that 4. She's a little straight when you consider she wants to come down and get on the 6-ball. Now this 6 goes into just about everything on the left-hand side of the table, but nothing on our right-hand side. So she'll try to come in under it on the right-hand side, see if she gets a shot on the side pocket or in the corner pocket. I'm not sure it passes that 7 for the corner pocket. But she does drift it down to the right-hand side. She clearly was playing it for the corner, so it must pass the 7. You can see she's considering where she's going to be after playing this 6-ball, because the shot on the position on the 7 is not easy. So she's going to draw this back off the rail most likely. Maybe come in under the 9. There you go, 2-rail position, and she can play the 7 in the corner or the side pocket. Considering where the 8 is, she'll definitely play this in the side pocket. If you guys don't practice your side pocket shots, you really should, because these are key. I know there's guys that think side pockets are poison and they're out of their mind. To block yourself off from a third of the table because you're scared to shoot side pocket shots is ridiculous. She's going to shoot a draw shot here, just come out and get straight in on the 9-ball. Not quite straight in, but pretty good position. And I think she'll stay on the same side, shoot left-hand English there. She did to play the 10-ball. She could have come off 2 rails and gotten similar position in the other corner. But if you can travel off of 1 rail, why go off of 2? So she played that rack perfectly. It is alternating breaks, so she is going to be racking for EFREN here. This match took place probably just a couple years ago. They're having a discussion about her racking, I think. She's racking for EFREN, and I think EFREN racked for her for the first game. So EFREN is going to take the table. We'll take a look at EFREN's break. With the 10-ball break, everybody's going, from the center of the rack, similar to a 8-ball break. Unlike 9-ball, where you tend to break from the side, 10-ball you tend to break straight on. So we'll take a look at EFREN's break here. So watch EFREN's cue after the break. You see where the cue ended up straight down on the table. I keep coaching guys about keeping your cue down. A lot of guys lift their cues up in the air after a break. I think they, in their mind, are getting it out of the way of the balls that are coming down table to them, which is fine. But at the end of that stroke, your cue should be pointed down at the table. Now, SIMING doesn't have a shot here, so she's playing a safe. And it's a nice little safe that any professional is going to be able to pull off. EFREN is pretty good at any angles on the table, so I'm sure he's going to hit this. And he kind of zigzags into it and gets a nice roll. She does not have a clear shot here, but certainly nothing that is truly makeable. So it looks like this game is going to start out with a safety battle. And they're going to be playing pretty quick because it is a challenge match. There's really nothing at stake here. It doesn't mean they're not going to give you their best game, but it does mean that they're not going to spend a half an hour thinking about what they should do to get out of these safeties. So EFREN's going to have to kick at this one ball. I don't know if he's going to call it in the side, but just a reminder, guys, we're playing 10 ball. You have to call your shots, and you might as well call something even if you're just kicking at the ball. And he almost makes it in the side pocket. Ends up down table, which that should work. Doesn't leave SIMING anything easy. She'll be just trying to hit this. She does call it in the corner pocket. So the way you hit this is you load up with right hand spin. If you were using diamonds, the pocket would be your spot, so that's not available to you. So you're going to aim just before the pocket, a bunch of right hand spin, and kick at it. You call that corner pocket just in case. So EFREN can cut this in the side, and it's not an easy cut shot anytime the balls are this close together, but it will go in the side pocket. So he's on the 2 ball here. The 3 is at the top of the screen on the right hand side, and he's rolling down and coming off the rail. That way he got to let his stroke out, didn't have to worry about trying to baby that 2 ball in the side and staying on the 3. But getting from the 3 to the 4, I'm sure he's thinking multi-rail position here, but there's a lot of balls in the way. So what you do here is you shoot a low right hand English, one of my favorite and least favorite shots here. So you shoot low right hand and you come off the rail, and there he is on the 4. The 5 ball sitting right in front of the side pocket, that goes in a lot of different pockets, but you need to get on that 6 after you make the 5. So he comes off of 2 rails with a little high right hand English, and it looks like you can just stun here and get on the 6 ball, but you have to be on the correct side of the 6 here. And he gets a little bit of roll out of it, ends up passing the 6, so the 7 is in the opposite direction. You can play multi-rail position here, but the 10 ball is blocking the route to go around the table. So he'll either draw this back a little bit or go up and back to get on the 7. He goes up and back. It did not work out well for him. I think if he took more time to think about that, he would have come up with a different plan. But yeah, it was all about 2 inches being on the wrong side of that 6 ball. I tell guys all the time, a lot of times your run comes down to 1 shot and a couple inches. So he'll have to kick at this 7 ball. It's an easy 2-rail kick shot here. What I like is he knew he was going to hit it and hit it solid, and he put enough of a slow stroke into that to make sure that the cue ball stunned right where it was, which is amazing when you think about it. A lot of players are just happy to hit it. So SIMING has a jump shot here. I think she's running around looking for her jump cue, and she found it. Looked like she ran off screen. I think she either went to borrow one or went to find hers. So here she's playing that 7 in the corner, our lower right hand part of the screen. And she makes a good attempt at it. If you play at her level and play as much 9 ball and 10 ball as she does, you're going to be very good with the jump cue. And she had to sit on the table, keep one of her feet on the floor, and shoot that jump shot, which was not easy. So considering what she had to work with, I think she did a good job. So EFREN might have been trying to play this off of 4 rails, because I think if the 9 wasn't there, it would have gone off of 4 rails. It does not look like he was trying to cut it in. And that 4 rail shot, believe it or not, is kind of something he does a lot. Where you play off the rail right in front of the short rail, right in front of the pocket you're aiming for, comes off the long rail, then back the opposite end, off the short rail and the long rail again. And if you guys pay attention on your 8-ball break, very often the wing balls will do just that. They'll come off of those 2 short rails, long rails, and then head back down to the corner pocket. So she's playing this in the corner and just misses it. It was a pretty long shot with a cut. And now EFREN has not quite straight in, but he needs to get on that 8. So this is a tough shot. You're going to play this with reverse English. So that's left-hand English, and you can see all the spin on that ball. People don't realize what a difficult shot that was. He's going the length of the table with reverse English, and it was probably the most difficult shot we saw so far. So this 9 to the 10 should be pretty simple. He comes off of 2 rails, just past the middle of the table, and then this is a layup on the 10 ball. So the score is 1-1. So we'll watch SIMING break here. Watch her follow through on this break. Now she's a little girl, so she's going to throw a lot of weight into this shot. And you can see she puts a lot of power into it. She's probably hitting it at 10 out of a 10 for her body weight and her strength. And she does not make a break, but it was good form on the break. She doesn't make a ball on the break. It was good form on the break, and but she did not make a shot. And here EFREN is going to start out. He's got a little stun shot on the 1 to slide down to get on this 2 ball. The cluster here, he's going to look to break up this cluster. So you want to break those balls up now so that you don't have that cluster when you get on that ball. So many novice players are so happy to put a ball in the pocket, they don't realize the point of this game is to run out the entire rack. So that 3 ball puts him naturally on this 4. The 5 ball's not an easy shot, but he'll come off of high right, 2 rails, and get on that 5. It's a little short. I think he wanted to play it in his lower right-hand corner, and the angle takes him all the way around the table. So it's hard to get on the 6 here. The 6 is at the top of our screen by that corner pocket. You can see he's looking at it. He can make the 5 in the corner, but getting on the 6 is the real challenge here. EFREN is more likely to play multi-rail position than a lot of players. He has a very strong background and a very good 3-cushion billiard player, so he knows where this ball is going. Not that other professionals don't know where the ball is going. They're just not quite as confident in shooting these shots. So another long shot, and getting on this 7 is not easy, but he plays another multi-rail position, 3 rails to get on this 7 ball. That was a beautiful shot. A lot of players would have shot that off the short rail and straight back down. Now getting from this 8 to this 9, he's probably just going to draw it back a little bit to get on this 9 ball. He shoots a force follow, much smarter shot. You can get away a little bit more with the follow shot on that. So he shot that with high inside, which would be high left. And he just stuns this across table in slow motion to get on that 10 ball in the side pocket. So EFREN will be breaking next, and let's take a look. EFREN doesn't put a lot of energy into his break, but you can see his form. He does keep the cue down. It even flexes on the table. Looks like he's going to make the 9 ball, but does not have a shot on the 1. So let's see how he handles this. He can't hit it. He's probably, well, he's going to push out here, and we'll see what SIMING does. Now you ask the question, would he have gotten better position with a harder break? And one of the reasons he breaks as soft as he does, besides his advanced age, he has more control over the cue ball. So the answer to that question is probably not. And considering he made a ball on the break, it wasn't a bad break at all. So SIMING is on the 1 here. She can see it from where she is, so you can expect a safety in this situation. There's really not a shot on the table. A bunch of amateurs are aiming for that 5 ball off the 1, which would be suicide. So she's going to roll this down and just send it to the side rail. So it looks like a safety battle in the works. And it might not have looked like it, guys, but I'll bet you she was aiming for that cluster down there. So she wanted to hit the 1 and break up that cluster, because if you're going to get ball in hand or you're going to leave your opponent safe, break up the clusters at the same time. You see EFREN's hit it back over there as well. If you can tap that cluster, and you don't want to hit it hard, but if you can tap that cluster and separate those balls, you'll be in pretty good shape. So SIMING is looking for a path to get to that 1 ball, and I'm sure if she could get to it off of 1 rail, she would do it, but she's lining up for a 2 rail kick shot here. So you load up with right hand spin, try to come off of 2 rails to get this. Now you'll notice that a lot of professionals, when shooting 2 rail kick shots, if they miss the ball, they tend to find the pocket, and that's not by mistake. A lot of players learn these 2 rail kick shots and the 3 rail position shots from corner pockets. So you learn to go around the table, and a lot of people err on that side. Now this is an interesting safety, because remember I was talking about that cluster down there. How many guys would take that ball in hand on the 1 ball and use it to play a safety? EFREN played safe off of that 1 and aimed for that cluster down there. He hit it a little soft because he didn't want to get in a position to leave SIMING a shot. But he used his ball in hand on a table that's almost wide open to play a safety and then try to break up that cluster. So SIMING came to the table with her jump cue in her hand, and this shot is almost straight in for her. That's a beautiful jump shot. Again, if you play as much 9 ball at as high a level as she does, you're shooting a lot of jump shots during your training. So she's playing the 2 on the side here. You can bet that she's thinking about that cluster. How am I going to get to that? How am I going to break those up? And she's going to look like she's loading up for draw on this shot. So she does. She draws it back a little bit to get on the 3 ball. Still, you're thinking about the cluster. How can I break up that cluster and get on my next shot? So it looks like, well, she's on the 4 after this. So she's got a lot of opportunities. I mean, if she gets on the correct side on any of these shots, she could get to that cluster. But she got on the wrong side, even for her position on the 5. So she'll play my favorite position shot. If you watch this channel or you get coached by me, you know that I love this 3 rail position shot. She'll go off of 3 rails, come around to get on that 5. And because she was cutting at it, she kind of runs a little fast. She may or may not have meant to get this far down, but this gives her a shot at the cluster. So the fact that she has this angle gives her another good opportunity to hit those balls. High left hand spin here. She'll come off of 2 rails, aiming for that cluster. And she hits them. That's a very good shot. The only downside of that shot is the 8 is in front of the 7. You don't have much control over that. You're coming off of 2 rails. But she's looking to see if that combination goes. Why get in position for it if it doesn't go? So she knows where she needs to get on this combination shot, but she has to go up and back. So she plays the 6. A little bit of follow. Looked like high right to come off of 2 rails. And now she'll play the combination. You never given a choice when to play these combos, but this one is pretty lined up. So you're really worried about here getting on the 7 ball, and she does excellently. She put a little bit of follow on that to make sure she got in position on the 7, just tapped it off the rail right there with a little high right hand spin, and she'll probably stun this. So you're that straight in, you're going to shoot a stop shot. So now the score is 2-2 with Hill, and this last one should be good. Watch how much power SIMING puts into this break. And she backed off a little bit on that. I would say she was at about 80% on that one. Pretty good cue ball position, and does not make a ball. She was cheering on that 5 ball, but unfortunately cheering does not make the ball go in the pocket. If it did, a lot of guys would be a lot better at pool. So EFREN is on this 1, and I think he might have been shooting a combination shot, but it did not work. So SIMING will have a straight up the table shot on this 1 ball. Getting on the 2 is not a layup given the angle that she has, so it'll be interesting to see how she does it. It looks like she's going to stun this across table. So yes, she does, and that was a world-class shot. People don't realize how difficult that shot was. She's crossing the side pocket, she's stunning the ball, and keeping it on that rail all at the same time. And people don't think about this, but newer tables with newer felt, the rails are not as forgiving because a lot of old tables, you get tracks along those long rails that the ball will ride in that track, just being shot down that track over and over again. So SIMING, after making that great shot down the rail, misses the 2-ball shot, which it looked like she should have made. And a lot of players won't realize the reason she missed that 2-ball shot. She was jacked up trying to break up those balls in the center of the table. Those are the only issues that you have right now. So I'm sure EFREN will deal with those. You just need to tap one of them out of the way, and you can make the rest of them. So he shoots a little bit of draw here and nudges what looks like the 8-ball out of the way. And now he's got a back cut on the 4. I hate this shot. EFREN gets down on it pretty quick. He's going to shoot that with a lot of confidence. So he's on this 5. You got too many choices here. You can use the bridge, or you can go left-handed. EFREN shoots racks, entire racks left-handed with no problem. So he plays that one left-handed, and he'll just drift out most likely on this 7 ball. Unless he wants to get aggressive, and he's going to draw it back. And he draws it back off the rail to get on that 7, which makes sense because you want to have position on this 8 ball, so you can just drift over, play the 8 in the side. Now you're going to get natural position on this 9 ball, but he's going to make sure he gets facing the correct direction for this 10 ball. Okay, so EFREN's having fun with it now. Inside English, which becomes running English once it hits that short rail. This is EFREN's slam dunk at the end of the match. So inside, he hit that with right hand, which turns into running English as it comes off of each of those 4 rails. and pulls up for him at the end of the match. So this was a lot of fun to watch. Look at that smile. That's the greatest smile ever in pool. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.